Chaos is ensuing with mail-in voting, and now Democrats and leftists are in full-on panic mode over videos surfacing of mail ballots everywhere strewn about undelivered, about a report in Pennsylvania, thousands never got their ballots. And Republicans are concerned. Supreme Court is ruling North Carolina can accept mail-in ballots up to 9 days later. That's a win for the Democrats. The Democrats are freaking out. We got this here video. Dem House leader Kion McGee says, raw footage of mailroom in post office here in Miami-Dade. Source revealed mail-in ballots are within these piled up bins on the floor. Mail has been sitting for over a week. Democrats have let out the war cry. No more mail-in ballots. They say everyone must run full speed to your nearest election office, polling station, and vote in person because it's too late. Your ballot won't make it in time. I think they're right. I think it's fair to say. Definitely, if you want to vote and you got a mail-in ballot, bring it in person or go vote in person. Surprisingly, there are some states that allow you to go and vote in person, even if you did vote by mail, but don't assume that's true for every state. There was some, election institution was talking about some states do this. Check with your local election boards and local laws to make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do. But seriously, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you're a Biden supporter, a Bernie supporter. I don't care if you're a full-on, authoritarian communist voting for the ghost of Stalin. Just vote. Vote. Seriously. I want everyone's votes to count. But we got a big problem. I do want everyone's votes to count, except these ones. There, I said it. Raw footage of a mailroom in a post office here in Miami-Dade. All of these mail-in ballots. I'll tell you what the problem with mail-in voting is. No chain of custody. I'm sorry. If we see a video of a bunch of boxes in a post office and we don't know where those boxes came from or what's in the boxes, I don't think it is a good idea to count them. I don't care who they're for. I don't care if they're for Trump. I don't care if they're for Biden. They don't count. Sorry. No chain of custody, no election security, no count. And that's the Democrats' fault. Or maybe it's the Democrats' advantage. Maybe these are going to be Trump votes. Maybe older people who are scared want to vote for Trump. And now their ballots are in the bin. I was thinking about this. Think about how they could pull this off. With mail-in voting, there are a lot of people who are assuming things like, they'll all the mail-in votes will come in and then they'll find new ones. Why would they have to find new ones? Think about it. They put all of the bunk ballots in the post office a week early. And then a week goes by, a video pops up saying, why won't they mail the ballots? And then they do. And there it is. I'm not saying anyone's actually doing that. I'm saying that's why I believe these should be removed. The challenge, I guess, is with all of these ballots going through the mail system with no chain of custody, it's insane that we would have the most consequential election of our lives with the least amount of security. That says to me, you are playing with fire and we are dangerously close to massive unrest. But I'll tell you, man, it's not just what's happening sitting in these post offices. Well, actually, no, I guess it is. They never got their ballots. I've got stories of people in my area who are getting ballots with the wrong names in the envelope. Like they're getting a piece of mail. It's like got their name on it. They open it up and then there's someone else's name on the election mail. No kidding. Check this out. The whereabouts of an untold number of ballots in Pennsylvania's Butler County that were slated for delivery to would-be voters next week remain unaccounted for, the county's director of elections said Thursday. Postal officials say they are unaware of any issues, but the director, Aaron Sheasley, said the county has received in excess of 10,000 phone calls seeking information about ballots that were requested but not received, and that some callers have called multiple times. Somewhere between the post office and the Pittsburgh sorting facility, something happened. We don't know what. I'm sorry. I almost just wanted to flip the table over and just start smashing everything. Because I've been saying it over and over again, but these people would not listen. You want to know what's going to happen now? We are going to see so many lawsuits. I'll tell you why. Donald Trump, Tuesday, the Red Mirage, they call it. Trump landslide victory, 362 electoral votes, says Helmut Norpoth. Maybe he's wrong. Let's say Trump wins. The Democrats are going to say, but wait, lawsuit. We have a man from Pennsylvania who says his vote was never received through no fault of his own. His right to vote was infringed upon by a broken system. Therefore, we must challenge these results. And there it is. There cannot be closure to this election. If 10,000 phone calls have gone in saying, where's my ballot? Because now they're going to say, let's say Trump wins by 7,000. If 10,000 people never receive their ballots, then the election is compromised. A federal judge might have to rule a new election must be done, which could take us well into December. Who knows? Maybe the Supreme Court intervenes mid-December when the deadline hits. I believe the deadline is December 14th for the Electoral College final vote. Who are they going to side with? Perhaps it's Donald Trump, or perhaps it's not. Trump may think he's bringing on constitutionalists, but there's no guarantee they side with him. I mean, Brett Kavanaugh and Gorsuch haven't. Not on everything. I don't know what's going to happen. But I tell you what, the Trump campaign's going to sue. There's going to be back and forth lawsuits, and it's going to reach a point where the courts will have to make a decision regardless of the lawsuits. That's right. It's possible, in my opinion, we get a President Pelosi. If the votes aren't counted and the Supreme Court abstains and says no, or I should say the Supreme Court rules will go beyond the deadline, the 20th hits. Speaker of the House would become president. Well, President pro tempore of the Senate becomes president. I believe Speaker of the House would become president first, assuming the election across the board isn't done and Congress isn't sworn in. Then it would be President pro tempore of the Senate. Otherwise, I got no idea. I don't know who comes after that. But I believe that's Chuck Grassley right now. I can't predict any of this stuff, but I can tell you if Donald Trump and Joe Biden are both planning lawsuits, and they are, what about regular people? What happens when 10,000 people file a lawsuit saying our votes were never received and we didn't get to vote in this election? Pennsylvania will have no choice but to say our election has failed and these people have lost their votes. The Supreme Court, in my opinion, will probably rule in favor of Trump, probably saying no. It is not the fault of the rest of the country that you screwed up. Therefore, the results stand. Maybe that's the game. I don't know. I'll tell you what happens after that. Then the left is going to say Trump did not win. Many people's votes were disenfranchised, and they're going to blame Trump. You see, it's all being lined up. The post office is purposefully crippling everything, and then these mail problems happen. That was Trump's fault. No, it was the Democrats' fault for changing the rules in the first place. But that's what they'll say. Then they'll claim Trump stole the election because his packing the courts, as they call it, which literally just means appointing Supreme Court justices, gives him the advantage. And we're going to see a 6-3 split probably. Actually, we'll probably see a 5-4 split because Chief Justice Roberts seems to love siding with the left of the court. But then Trump becomes president by Supreme Court ruling, and the left will say illegitimate president. You see, they wanted Trump to be illegitimate in 2016. Trump won fair and square. And Hillary Clinton still says he's illegitimate. He has the specter of illegitimacy. No, that's you. Go away. Bye-bye. You lost. Donald Trump won. But they've desperately tried claiming that Trump is not legitimately the president. Give them the opportunity and they'll take it. Even if Trump wins definitively, I believe they will sue after the fact and argue, you see all these lawsuits? These people's votes weren't counted and it's not fair. Donald Trump should not have won. He's not the president. And he will be. But it won't matter. The narrative is what's going to be very important for them. To claim that, in fact, they are the morally superior ones. Or I'll tell you what. It may just be that Donald Trump loses. Maybe it won't matter. Or maybe it's Donald Trump supporters who are the ones filing the lawsuits, saying that mail-in voting stole their vote. And then they'll say, but Donald Trump did X. No, Democrats changed the rules. What if these 10,000 phone calls are from Trump supporters? What if that's actually what's going to happen? Democrats will then be the ones who are at fault for the broken and bunk election. And when Trump sues and wins, people might say, if only the Democrats never said mail-in vote, Trump would not have sued and won and become president. I don't know who's going to be president. I don't know. A lot of people think it's going to be Donald Trump. A lot of people don't. But I'll tell you one thing that I find very strange. Supreme Court rules North Carolina can accept mail-in ballots up to 9 days after the election. Why didn't they rule in Wisconsin they couldn't do this? Why is the Supreme Court ruling that some states can and some states can't? I don't know. Does kind of seem like they're picking the winners and losers then. They're like, North Carolina is going to be open up for 9 days after the election. So North Carolina, what, goes blue or red? I have no idea, man. I do find it strange. My bigger concern is that by screwing with election integrity, it doesn't matter. You got big old piles of mail stacked up in post offices, giving anyone, Trump or Biden, an excuse to claim the election was not legitimate. Of course, Biden has the media on his side, the establishment. If Donald Trump loses and says it's not fair, they'll laugh. Ha ha ha. If Donald Trump wins, they'll say it's not fair and they'll burn everything to the ground. That's the scariest thing, I suppose. A stack of lawsuits flying in and them blaming Donald Trump, and then us getting another 4 years of Russiagate. Only this time it'll be called Mail Vote Gate or Postal Gate or whatever. I don't know. Trump didn't really win. He cheated. He used the post office to cheat. They're still claiming Russia, and that's not true. And that's what I just can't stand anymore. I'm getting tired. But Tuesdays are coming. I got one more segment coming up for you in a few minutes. Stick around, and I will see you all shortly.